Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, which seems to be okay-ish in terms of syncing with the YouTube channel. Later, it's the Void Busters episode will come up later after the publishing of this video. So let's get started. We've got some stuff to go around, some interesting things regarding hardware. Samsung announces, okay, let's see, LPCAMM. So basically it's DDR5X memory, which is basically 60% smaller, 70% more efficient, and 50% more power. Yeah, more performance. So basically improved performance, improved power efficiency, and reduced mounting area. This is regarding, of course, with the normal DDR modules, which is a huge achievement. As you can see this in a kind of a GIF thing here. As you can see the space that he occupies here. This is kind of a breakthrough to a certain degree because we didn't see a lot of alterations regarding form factor and sizes from DDR modules for a long time now. I remember being even DDR1, which is like the beginning of the thing. It's always basically maintained the same. Some memory modules are bigger or small, are bigger because of the heat sinks now, especially DDR5, and all of them I think they bring basically, not all of them, but most of them bring the heat sinks and makes them a little bit bulkier. But this is a very good news. It's called basically low power compression attached memory module, the letters here, which is different from what we had until now, which is LPDDR, which I don't know what it stands for, or low power, I don't know, something like that, or low profile, something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, this new kind of form factor that is going to be to a certain degree integrated, it makes laptops very more enticing in terms of construction. And the challenges that we had, for example, in some boards from laptops, you have like you still see the memory soldered in the main board. It gives a little boost on performance regarding the socketable or the replaceable DDR modules in terms of performance, at least in laptops. But it has the problem that it's soldered, so in terms of repairs it's more difficult to repair. And the fact, the good thing regarding normal DDR modules, they can be inserted or replaced. It has still occupying the slot, and the fact that the memory itself occupies a little bit of chunk of the area. It's a little bit chunky still on the laptop side here, and this basically reduces that, overcomes basically these two challenges of being soldered or not, and basically reduces also the size that it occupies on the main board, which gives a lot of more versatility regarding how you manage to build laptops. And of course, being that is more efficient and more smaller, it gives a good focus on data centers, when I think they will do most of their money. The only thing is researching everything to trying to, because they have to replace basically the motherboard, but I think they have like a fix, kind of a fix here to surpass at the moment this thing, at least from what I read in the article, seems that way. But yeah, basically I don't know when we are going to see this. It's already passed like the first tests and validations through Intel motherboards and CPUs and all that stuff. And Intel says that they are very excited for this new form factor. And I don't know, maybe 2 years we will see like fully integration. And I don't know, maybe they will wait on the DIY market. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something when the new Ryzen's came up. I don't know, AM6 form factor, or even before, because I'm not sure how this can be implemented in the DIY market, at least from AMD. From Intel, they usually cycle through boards and form factors and CPU sockets and everything very kind of rather quickly, more than the AMD. I think we will see this implementation first in Intel, given that they also already tested out, so they for sure are working on some tooling to manufacture this kind of new form factor on the DDR space here. But yeah, this is good news, mainly because of the fact that it takes less space and it performs better. The efficiency here is, the gains are excellent, 70% off, but I think this will be more noticeable in the data centers because they use huge lots of memory there. In a normal PC, I don't see it's the voltages and the power consumption of DDR is not that much, so a case by case scenario we don't see that. So what we can expect more is more power and less area occupying on when you assemble your PC. But yeah, this is good news. I'm kind of excited for this to see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know, maybe 1 to 2 years at least. The commercialization, sorry, is slated for 2024, so I don't know, integration on like new products. I don't know if AM5 platform will like revamp their models of boards on that platform to accommodate this new form factor, because it's not going to use the same pin setup as the what you usually are used to on DDR. So yeah, it's very, very good news. We saw like stagnation. Okay, we see like higher performances on DDR and everything, but we never saw something this, not revolutionary, but some big changes here. I hope this will also let us, because it's 7500 memory, I think this is the speed supposedly. But yeah, I think this is going to be good in overall scheme of things, and if they basically saves us money and it performs better, I think it's a good deal in overall scheme of things. Also, we got some interesting news. The new version of the 12 volt power cable that was burning 4090s, it's already been out, basically officially. I already covered this like, I don't know, a couple of months ago, give or take. The new revision of this cable, basically I think the cable is going to be, the connection is going to be the same and everything. There's some tweaks here and there on the internal cabling there, and the connection I think is going to be a little bit more secure, how it attached to GPUs and power supplies. I think that mechanically wise, I think it's going to be a little bit better, but the main thing is the sense pins. I talked about some of the latest revision of 4090s already been launched on the market, already have this revision of the sense pins, so they are basically more shorter. So when the power connector is not fully seated, the sense pins will detect that there is no proper insertion, and of course it will not deliver the full power delivery. And you will notice this on your PC. It's basically, the computer is basically more slower because it's not getting, or like some, I think even some applications might not even start because of there is no enough power for the GPU to process what it needs to do regarding those applications or games. But yeah, this disappears now because there have been some internal independent testing, hardware busters. Paid a visit to this electronic company that they are basically testing, like stress testing this connection, and everything seems okay. Everything is on to the standards, so temperatures didn't rise above 50 degrees, and with this kind of tweaks on the thing, they can deliver supposedly a maximum of 675 watts. Given that this extra 75 will be delivered by the motherboard itself through the PCI Express connectors there. It's already been possible, but I think they disabled it at the time when they launched this. There are a lot of components that you connect to PCI Express, and they are powered by the PCI Express line, so that is nothing new, and it's more than good enough. It's been more than tested throughout a lot of the years, so everything is safe and secure there. It was more about the disconnection here, mainly on the GPU side, even though we had some issues with the power supply units being that side being burned also for not being properly inserted. But I think it's I talked extensively regarding this. I think it was more about the mechanical engineering regarding the connector itself, and I think still it will not be that bad if they have like the same kind of how do I say it, physical pins here was like this size. The individual pins, as you can see, they are smaller. The squares where everything is attached, I think, because the bigger the connections, the bigger the contact area is, so there is less prone to resistance in terms of electrical resistance, so it doesn't overheat that much. But I think with this kind of thing, they managed to keep things in check, so I think we are good, hopefully. We had also like some news that the 7800 XT and the 7700 XT were planning to use this kind of new, not the new, the 12 power, like the first revision. They were planning to use that, but of course, with all the things associated with the issues, they had to launch with the normal PCI connections there. The revision was not in time for them to be able to integrate on this latest GPUs from AMD. But yeah, hopefully this is resolved. We might get past through this complication. But yeah, hopefully everything is good. But I didn't see not like new patches of GPUs burning. I think all the 4090s that were about to burned already, unfortunately. But yeah, the response was not the best from the companies, even from the consortium, the PCI SIG consortium. I think they didn't do a good job when coming about this new specification and form factor of connection here. But yeah, hopefully now everything is settled and we can continue with our lives, playing games, and not worrying if the connection is stable or not. But yeah, regarding some gaming news, we got Phil Spencer visited Kojima Productions yesterday or today, depending on the timetable that we are. Oh my god, I forgot what I want to say. Time zone that we are. He's already paid a visit because Kojima Productions is doing a project with, I think it's exclusive with Xbox, which is good because now Kojima can diversify projects, because he was stuck with Konami per se, basically doing projects that Konami wanted him to do, and he was basically working with Metal Gear Solid franchise. He was not able to work too much with other IPs because he didn't have the freedom here. And of course, as we know, after he founded Kojima Productions, he started working on Death Stranding, which is a game that I'm very still want to play that game. I have the game. I managed to get the director's cut through Epic Game Store, fortunately, and of course I want to do I have to after think about how I'm going to do that, because there is a lot of walking and can be a little bit boring to watch, but I think it's going to be very interesting to play with. I think the story is interesting, and of course we already have teased the Death Stranding 2, and we'll see how it will go with this Xbox project. Supposedly there is something that he already teased. The project could be classified as a new medium capable of turning things around for the gaming and movie industries, mainly because of he specifically mentioned the Xbox Cloud kind of service there. I don't know how it's going to be integrated on the vision that he has for the game, but I always very excited for what he can bring to the industry, because he has very authorish ideas that the execution might not be perfect, but at least they are very interesting and out of the box. It's not the normal things that we used to usually dealt with in the gaming industry. So I always appreciate the fact that we have people that tried something different, even though again the execution might not be perfect, but at least it's something that is worth discussing and playing and experiences for ourselves. Also, we got Starfield. We got a mod here, in the interesting one, which is the disk cache enabler. This is basically because I think, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this because of. I think I mentioned this because of mainly much of the stuttering that comes from Starfield. It's basically from the disk cache I/O interface there. Basically. What it is basically the engine just erases something that it calls to the SSD, some information that it needs, and then it says to delete it, and then when it needs it again, they ask again to write, and these kind of operations going back and forth will hit performance, especially on HDD, because this uses a lot the capabilities of read and write from the hard drive. I think it's less noticeable from like for example NVMe's, but still it can hinder the performance and give some stuttering in some situations. And this mod supposedly is going to fix this. And it brings some significant performance improvements. Mainly, this is going to affect more the hard disk. I was trying to get another word that didn't want to say. It was not hard drive, but yeah, it affects mostly the hard drive. But this, of course, will being if your hard drive is a bottleneck, you will see a huge hit on performance if everything is waiting for the hard drive, especially if you have an HDD. Again, at this moment in time, you have like SSDs, normal SSDs, like 2.5-inch drives that perform very well, and even for gaming, you see a huge performance in boost in performance regarding HDD, and of course, NVMe's are top of the line at the moment, but still there are a lot of cheap NVMe's for like 500 gigs. That you can install a couple of dozen games at the moment and take advantage of that performance boost there. But yeah, it's good news. Also, some interesting news: Batman Arkham Knight may be getting new features soon, judging from recent activity on Steam. The Steam database, which it's like public information. Everybody can check out SteamDB, and they did create like a private branch called Patch Test. I think that I didn't know this. Supposedly there was a recent patch. I don't know when, like 4 days ago, a new patch for the game. But supposedly I completely missed this one. Supposedly there's going to be a Batman Arkham Knight RTX remaster. Was among one of the things that Nvidia was announced in 2021. I don't remember seeing this. I'm so sorry. I don't know if this new patch will bring kind of a thing, and they are testing out how RTX and DLSS works in the game. I don't know. We will see how it goes. I talk about this game now mainly because when it launched, it was very poor in terms of performance. The port was very badly done. And yeah, I think if it can, not DLSS, but if the patches that are being added are addressing the performance, and of course if you have extra performance of the after the optimization is done with DLSS, I think can be a good thing. We'll see how it goes, and I think that this game can take advantage of RTX more, because it's a game mostly at night, so the reflection and everything might have I don't know, you can take out a little bit more of the ray tracing experience. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, some activity happening here. We'll see. I will try to keep up with the news, and if something is announced for sure, I will let you know. And lastly, we got Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice has sold over 10 million units. It's still available on Steam as a deal there. I covered this yesterday, if not mistaken, so I referred to that, but I will leave regardless the link on Steam for Sekiro. I think it's 50% off still, if not mistaken. I don't know when it finishes, but I will leave regardless the Steam page there for you if you are interested. Which is very good. 10 million units, even though it's launched like a few years ago now. It's kind of, from what I understand, I never played this game, but I think it's a niche game in what From Software niche is. So From Software games are not for everybody to a certain degree, because they have very specific style of gaming and mechanics associated to their games. And this one is even more niche in that sense, that it's a solo specific player that has a story and is very skill based, so you have to be very proficient in the skills that the game offers you to play with and to overcome everything. But yeah, very interesting game regardless. It's one of those that I will play when I can. I just need to wait for another deal one of these days. For sure I will get them. I have, again, 5 to 6 years of gaming to catch up. I started with free ones, White Bastards, The Evil Within 2 and XCOM 2. XCOM 2 I already played, but it's one of those that I like to play from time to time, replay it with some mods. It's the series that I have here, and afterwards I will do other games that I didn't play throughout this 5 to 6 years period, and eventually I will catch up with every games that I wanted to play throughout this period. It's my main thing here with the gaming series here. And lastly, we got gaming deals. We got Wolfenstein. We have a sale again. So in this ones I put the Old Blood, Wolfenstein the New Order, which I have a gaming series also, and Wolfenstein 2 the New Colossus. So this is basically supposedly in terms of story-wise, it's like a prequel to the New Order. 80% off. The first one, the New Order, is 80% off, so also around $4, and the 2 is 85%, so 4.5. But you have usually this deal here is the best one, Alt History Collection, which is the first and the second, and oh, we got here the Young Blood also in the middle here. Okay, they got different bundles. Okay, so this one's I think there is a one that I usually put out, which is the free, which is the Old Blood, the New Order, and the New Colossus. I think it's not here. Let's check what it has here. Bundle info, because I think this one has also the hello. Doesn't give me bundle info. Okay. Yeah, it also has the New Order. Okay. It is a better deal here. 86% off. The price here is not the same because I already have the game here, but it's $3.99. So around, let's say, okay, $13 the 4 games. I think it's an excellent deal. I will post this deal here. I think it's a better one. Also, you got The Witcher 3, 70% off. Again, complete edition is the way to go. You don't see cheaper than this at the moment. For some years now, this is the best deal you can get. So plus the mods that you can do through, I think you can do for Steam Workshop to improve the experience here in terms of visual fidelity. Even though the base game is very pretty and very good, but there are some tweaks here and there that you can do with mods that enhance the experience. Also, we got Neon 2 or Neon. The complete edition, 40% off. The first one is not in promotion, interestingly enough, even though it's the same publisher and developer. But yeah, it's 40% off. Very similar to Dark Souls, but the story here is more given in a more direct way. But yeah, if you have already the first and played the first one, I think this one should be a good one. Very positive reviews, even for the first one, if not mistaken. So it's something to experience if you already played a lot of the Dark Souls stuff. Here is like an alternative kind of a game and setting in feudal Japan, which is always interesting here. And lastly, we got the Jagged Alliance 3. This is one of those that I really want to experience also. It's like squad basement, turn-based tactics, very similar to kind of what XCOM brings, but it's got a lot of more stuff in depth. At least for the base game. I'm not sure regarding how, in terms of modding, this handles, but yeah, it's like group of mercenaries and you're going around the land trying to rid off the bad guys. Basically, this is it, the main thing here, but it's very intricate on how we're going about it, and the fact that the game director for this one is the same one from the first and the second game, so there is a lot of expertise going about this game, and it has excellent reviews here, very positive ones. So yeah, I think it's well worth it. 34% off, launched this year, like a few months ago, so I think it's a good deal here. And basically this is it, guys, for today. I'm just going to plug my Patreon here for extra support. The extra support at the moment is going to be for more storage, so I have backups of the projects that I do for my private clients, and of course having space for the recordings that I do for the channel. And basically that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.